Welcome Elevate Kids to our Wednesday night science segment with me, Miss Sarah. Tonight's going to be a little different. We are going to dive into our Bible here and watch some videos. So right now we're going to get into our praise and worship. Just stay tuned, stick around, get engaged, and we will have a quick announcement at the end as well.
All the static, all the noise can't compete with your beat. Tuning in to your voice, it's your love on repeat. Shout it out, tell the world I found a meaning. Can't be quiet anymore, you're the song I'm singing. Can you hear it? Through a million voices, you're the sound all around. Love is big, your love is loud. Jesus, my heart is yours, now and forevermore. Let it only be for you. Jesus, my heart is yours, now and forevermore. Let it only be for you. Jesus, my heart is yours, now and forevermore. Let it only be for you. Jesus, my heart is yours, now and forevermore. Let it only be for you. Beat of your heart goes on and on. You play my song to turn it up, can't get enough of. Beat of your heart goes on and on. You play my song to turn it up, can't get enough of your. Can't get enough of your love. Can't get enough of your love. Boom, 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 boom. You make my heart go boom, 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 boom.
Okay guys, so we are going to do something a little different tonight. Turns out I'm not as keen on fire as Pastor Nick is. He's very passionate about fire. Me, myself, I'm very scared about fire. So just wanted to go into something that has to do with our power verse in Romans 8:28 and how God uses all of these bad things in our life to bring about good. And so I kind of wanted to do how metal is refined in fire. And turns out I also don't have any of that material to do that with. So we're going to play some clips and just dive into our message. So here we go.
Now, the process of refining fine metal starts when gold, silver, platinum, and palladium are delivered to the refinery in several impure forms, some still connected to false teeth and other creepy stuff like that. The lots of precious metals are weighed and tabulated, then the lots are combined with flux, which looks a lot like you're actually making matters worse by pouring a bunch of dirty sand in with the metal, but it's actually a very important ingredient. This flux and the impure metal is placed in a vessel called a crucible. The grains are then placed into a mantle where an acid solution is used to dissolve the metals into a liquid form. Once the metals are fully dissolved, chemists use other substances to induce reactions that extract the exact metal they are looking for. This is made from material that can take the heat better than the material inside it. So the crucible is then put into a melting furnace that transforms the metal and flux into a molten material, usually within 30 to 45 minutes. The crucible is then removed and the molten material is poured into a mold, sometimes shaped like a brick or other times like an inverted cone. Especially when they use a lot of flux in the cone-shaped mold, the flux fuses with the undesired matter. The results are that you end up with an absolutely pure piece of gold, silver, platinum, or palladium.
Alright guys, so the video was pretty cool. Wish I knew how to do that. I did blow glass one time, and that was super hard and very hot. So just another learning process of how things are made in the fire. Again, we're going to recap on our power verse from Romans 8:28. It says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him." So I just wanted to recap on parts of the video. So it says in the video that they use flux. It's a powder that's helped to remove impurities, right? So the trials and tribulations that we go through, it's removing things from us, right? We feel like we are being broken down and things that we don't think that we can really handle. Then we'll go into the crucible. So the metal is put into a container that can withstand the fire. So obviously the metal that's going into the fire can't withstand it, it melts, right? And so this container is where the transformation happens. And that is where, kids, we need to dive into the Word of God and really rely on that Word, because that is where the transformation happens. God is our crucible, and He protects us as we're transforming and going through the fire. And then the chemicals. So you see that they put the metal in acid, and you can see all the bubbles on the video as things are starting to happen and change, right? So the chemical that they use is the process for purification. So just like the Word of God and walking with God, He's purifying us through these times and these changes and helping us to be that creation that He's created us to be. So I do want to do another verse with you, and that is in 1 Peter, and that is 4:12. So it says, "Dear friends, do not be surprised at the fiery ordeal that has come upon you to test you, as though something strange were happening to you, but rejoice inasmuch as you participate in the sufferings of Christ, so that you may be overjoyed when His glory is revealed." So just as this metal goes from one shape to another and gets purified and broken down as we go through these trials in life, just as the Bible instructs us to do, it tells us that you will go through fiery trials, and when you do, be overjoyed in them, but just find joy in those situations, knowing that God is not doing those things or has walked you through those things to harm you, but to bring you good and to prosper you, because He does have a bigger and better plan for you than what you may think through those. And remember to lean on God, just lean in Him and study His Word, and just know that He's walking you through the fire and you won't get burnt. So thank you for sticking around, and we will see you Sunday morning. All right, Elevate kids.